Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of All or Nada according to Jack. So as you can see, a couple things. My my background tells us that it's going to be another Seinfeld episode, and I have a new special guest, Ove Rendum, direct from Norway. Say hi, Ove.
Hello, how you guys doing?
So, as I've been telling Ove has been a big supporter of me starting this channel. So I am eternally grateful, and I'm very happy to welcome Ove to the show for the first time. And our Seinfeld topic for tonight is going to be Elaine Bennis in the red dress. So we're going to talk about our top 10 episodes of Elaine Bennis on Seinfeld, where she basically stole the show. So with that in mind, we're going to start off. Before we start, so everybody knows about my dictionary of terms and catchphrases. So I'm going to do one very quick definition. So my definition tonight is from season 5, episode 11, the Kavorka. So what is the Kavorka? The Kavorka, number one, the lure of the animal. Number two, the polar opposite of wearing a garlic necklace or bathing in vinegar. So that is our definition for today. Now, what we'll do is we'll start out with our top 10, Elaine. So your number 10, Ove, go ahead.
Yeah, let's get our lady in red. My number 10 is the episode The Letter.
Okay, what happens in that episode?
It's the famous Oreos cap.
I'm sorry, which one?
The Oreos cap.
The Oreo scap?
Cap.
Oh, okay.
It's the
The
baseball
Orioles
game.
cap. Yes, okay,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, okay, right.
It's the baseball with the owner's
Yep.
box.
Yeah, that so I don't know how familiar you are with the Mets lingo. That would be like somebody coming to Citi Field, where I went the other night, and wearing a damn Phillies cap. Yeah, they're
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not very welcome in our stadium, just as we're not very welcome in their stadium. But I
Well, you don't need
digress.
to convince me. I like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Boston Burns are not our friends,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though I'm scarcely wearing their colors.
yeah. I once went to an Islander game, and they were facing the Bruins, and this jerk, maybe about 5 or 10 rows below me, every time they scored a goal, he'd stand up and he'd like wave his little Bruins
Yeah, yeah.
so on.
Colors.
Yeah, irritating.
Yeah.
So okay.
Also, the
So
reason why I like this episode is because she's provoking in her in her natural but unprovoking way. She manages to
oh yeah.
irritate people.
We'll talk about her more. And in fact, my number 10 is an episode where she provokes somebody. It's season 6, episode 5, The Couch. It's the episode where Poppy pees on Jerry's couch. But
Oh, yeah.
but more
Mhm,
importantly,
mhm.
he eggs Elaine on and to talking about abortion in Poppy's restaurant, and causes this whole big fight in the restaurant. And half the people get up and leave because they're anti-abortion. Or
Yeah.
right. And also she's dating this guy, and Jerry eggs her on again. It's like, oh, what's his stand on abortion? So she's,
Yeah, the moving guy.
he's handsome. So you're number
Yeah.
9.
My number 9 is the foundation.
Okay.
It's the episode, and it's the episode where Elaine gets the leader position for the company
Uh-huh.
because her boss has suddenly got it that he's going to go to Burma,
Right.
or today is named something else.
Right. Oh, is that the one where she promotes the guy who who wears the cargo pants, I think.
Maybe I can't. There are two episodes that's quite similar, but here is she takes over the whole thing, and she doesn't have any faith in herself, and blah blah blah, and then Kramer eggs her on about the karate and her katra.
Oh, right. Yeah, she kicks Kramer's ass. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I remember that.
And her first deal is to make the umbrella sombrero.
Oh, yep, yep,
Yeah, the urban sombrero is a flop like you have never seen.
yep. Go Elaine. So my number 9 is all the way back to season 2, episode 9, The Deal. That's the episode where Jerry and Elaine, and this is another American term about friends with benefits, friends who have sex with each other.
Yeah.
So basically they start, doing this, that, and the other, and trying to, date, but have this deal where they don't have to sleep over, spend the night.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And Jerry, in his infinite wisdom, he gives her a gift of $182 in cash. I said,
Yeah.
here, Elaine.
The typing is off. And George comes with $92.
$91, yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course Kramer makes them both look bad by getting them the bench. So
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a goodie.
Yep. Okay, so you're number 8.
My number 8 is the episode called The Pothole.
Okay. Yep. I remember.
Where Elaine goes to great lengths to get the supreme flounder.
Oh yeah.
Chinese
Right.
restaurant.
Oh yeah. And the guy says, you know order cashew, and yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's she's got to hide in a broom closet to pretend she lives in that new apartment. Yeah.
Because he gets 56th Street, 7th Street, and then he mentioned all streets if he has to order further and just across the street.
Too funny.
I think that episode is fantastic, and George having that fun with that thing that makes that what's it called? It's
it's
kind of
the,
like
the Phil Rizzuto keychain. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy cow! I actually met him once. My dad and I met him at a home show. So when I was buying my house back in like 1995, we went to a home show at the Nassau Coliseum, and he was there signing autographs. All you had to do was get a quote on a home mortgage, basically, from the bank he was representing. Of course, his hearing was really bad, and so my father's name is Harv. He thought he said Bob, so he writes, "Dear Bob." Holy cow! All right, so I digress. So my number 8 is from season 4, which is one of my favorite seasons, episode 12, The Pick. That's the episode where Jerry is caught in a pick at the light, where he does one of these, where he's scratching the outside of his nose, and his model girlfriend is in the cab right next to him, and she thinks he's picking his nose. Yeah, but where Elaine stands out in that episode, and again, Kramer screws everything up. He takes this beautiful picture of her for a Christmas card and exposes and shows her nipple. So everybody in the office is calling her Nip. And what really made me burst out laughing was George later on. He's like, "I thought we were friends. Why didn't you get me a Christmas card?" She's like, "You want a Christmas card? I'll give you a Christmas card." She grabs his head, puts it into her breast, and goes like this. It got enormous laughter from the studio audience. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was my number 8. So your number 7.
My number 7, we are going to Long Island.
Ah, okay.
And we are stranded in Long Island.
Okay.
and we go into the deal about if somebody gets bored, we have a certain sign to alert our companion or friend about help.
Oh, that's where she says, oh, maybe the dingo ate your baby.
You're right.
Yep. Do I know my episodes or what?
Yeah, the Long Island one is good.
Yep. And yeah, that's further out east than where I live. I think Kramer had to like go all the way out to Suffolk County to get them. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so my number 7 is and this is I basically had 2 trips to Florida so far this year, and
Yep.
I always think about this episode. The first trip to Florida with Jerry and Elaine, where season 3, episode 3,
Mm.
the pen.
Yeah.
And Elaine is like hilarious in that episode because poor Elaine had to sleep on a pull-out couch with a bar sticking in her back. But in addition to that, she says to Helen Seinfeld, Mrs. Seinfeld, please put the air conditioner on.
You're hot?
You're hot? I've lost 10 pounds. And then, of course, later on, Stella.
Muscle relaxers.
But every time I hear my parents talk about bickering down in Florida, with all their peers, I think about this episode. It's the funniest thing.
What dialect does the pen guy have? He's a very
He's what you would call a transplanted New Yorker. He was a New Yorker also. Jack
because he
Clark.
has,
Yeah. Right. A lot of transplanted New Yorkers. My parents.
he has that certain way about him that I've heard in a lot of movies.
Right. Funny guy.
Sponge cake.
Take the pen. So you're number 6.
My number 6 is the episode The Mango.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I remember that
it's all
one.
about faking it.
Fake, 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 fake. Yep. Yeah, that was a good one.
I was good. Oh, all right. I'll give you 15 minutes make up so I can still be friends. That doesn't work out.
Oh yeah, she's too funny. It's funny. I'm gonna kind of break stride here a little bit, and so I'm going to talk about one of my honorable mentions, the sponge. I can't even use the sponge because Kramer took that episode. Because in that episode, Kramer didn't want to wear the ribbon and he got the shit kicked out of him, and so he limps across the finish line in that walkathon. So I had to give it to Kramer in that one.
Yep.
But Elaine had plenty of others. So her number 6 comes from season 8, episode 4. Not much to talk about other than her little kicks. The fact that she couldn't dance.
Oh, yeah.
And both Jerry and George at separate times, sweet, fancy Moses.
I remember that episode. It's like she has that speech about wish us well, or if they don't, they can go to hell.
Yeah. But also she's got the worst dance moves I've ever seen where she cocks her foot. Yeah.
Yeah. Only Elaine.
Yeah. Okay, so you're number 5.
Number 5 is our vengeance episode, and it's the stall.
Okay, the stall. All right.
You don't have a square to spare.
Yep.
One square. No,
he's a membo. He's a membo.
Yeah. And Jerry gets in that three-way drama.
Yeah.
Oh, she picked the wrong girl with Elaine Venice.
Yeah.
I love that ending of that episode. She comes with all their roles and just
Yep. Gotta love it. And then George, he landed on kind of a rock.
yeah.
That was funny. So my number 5, let me just make sure. Yep, my number 5 is the only episode from season 9. It's the
I love
episode
the season
called
9.
what? I'm sorry?
I love the season 9.
Yeah, that's the very last season, and that's the episode, The Apology. That's where her boyfriend David Putty is a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And, and he says to her, "You stole my Jesus fish." And Elaine says, "You should crave my germs." But the funny part about that episode where I burst out laughing. That's when her coworker is like all leery of being around her because she's a germ, because she carries germs, because she has a lot of unprotected sex and whatnot. So then, so what does Elaine do? Elaine takes her keyboard and she wipes it like all over her ass. Yeah, I burst out laughing. That was really funny.
Yeah, that's the Susie episode where the girl thinks she's Susie.
That was a different episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't care for that episode, but the apology and after she wipes her ass on her keyboard, she puts the poor woman in the hospital, which was very funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, you're number 4.
My number 4, we're going to Del Boca Vista.
For which episode?
The pick.
Oh, you mean the pen?
No, wait, sorry, the pen.
The pen.
pen.
Okay, yes,
yeah.
The pen. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hot, and it's not bad bar, and it's just the episode is just fantastic. It's almost as I understand, George almost didn't want to quit the show because he was not in that episode at all. He found out he didn't like that one bit.
Right. Yeah. Oh yes. And this is no joke. He basically almost quit the show over that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really important backstory or information about that episode, because that would have been critical for the show.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a huge part of the show, and thank God they worked it all out.
Yeah.
Right. Anywho, my number 4, and I have a prop for this.
Oh, you do?
I do. So in New York City, right in Rockefeller Center there, where they have the big tree every year, they used to have an NBC store there, and they unfortunately they did away with the NBC store, and I miss it. It's part of the whole Rockefeller Center and NBC studio experience. But they had a gift shop there, and I bought this.
Oh.
And that is my number 4, the Soup Nazi episode. Season 7, episode 6. And just to let everybody know, I went into Manhattan at Christmas time, and I walked by the Soup Nazi store and sent Ove a picture, which was really cool. It was
I remember. That was fun.
Yeah.
Made my day.
Great. But this I actually bought this for my son because he's a big soup kid. I never knew a kid that loved soup as much as he does, so I bought this.
Nothing wrong with soup.
And I had to dig it out of the back of my cupboard because we haven't used it in a while. But anyway, to the episode, the Soup Nazi, I think everybody knows which episode that one is. But Elaine basically ruined the guy's business when she found all his recipes in the armoire, and she basically taunted him. You're through, Soup Nazi. I'm gonna drop all these recipes out of a plane, and everybody's gonna have them. Yeah.
It's the crab bisque and the fava bean or the lava bean.
Yep. Soup's not all that great anyway. She says that in the very last episode.
Mulligatawny.
Yep. Mulligatawny. Something cool cucumber or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sim.
Mm.
Okay.
I would like to try it.
Yeah. So to your number 3.
My number 3 is the pick.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, we did talk about that one.
Yeah, it's the Christmas card, and excuse me, I do believe I see a nipple. No, oh, Papa, Mama, and all the family.
Yeah, like he goes and gets Newman. He's like, "What do you see in this picture?" I see your nipple.
Nip. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep. Okay, so this is another classic episode, season 8, episode 8. This episode is actually the whole every scene is run backwards from the end of the story all the way to the front of the story. The betrayal, where Elaine goes to India and she's friends with Sue Ellen Mishke, and she's her maid of honor. And by the end of the episode, they discover, which is being played backwards, that they discover that she cheated with Sue Ellen Mishke's fiance, so she rips her nose ring out. Yeah, and they basically, and it's so funny how Jerry got her to confess with what was it? What do you have her drinking? Bourbon?
Schnapps.
Schnapps. Yeah, yeah.
It's in the vault.
Yeah. So yeah, so that was my number. That was my number 3. But not to get away from Elaine, but that guy throwing a snowball and hitting Kramer in the face, that was freaking funny.
Oh yeah, he has the initials. What's his initials again?
FDR. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
Like one of our presidents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Franklin Delano. I forget what his last name was, but very funny. So okay, so down to our top 2. So what's your number 2, Ove?
My number 2 is the episode "The Little Kicks."
Okay, all right. Wow, so we have quite a few in common.
Yeah. Here to all that wish us well, and the rest can go to hell.
Yeah.
Let's dance.
Yeah. Dancing to Earth, Wind, and Fire with the worst dance moves I've ever seen, and I'm no dancer.
I love that episode, especially at the end too, when Jerry talks about the first time he experienced this horrendous event with a street band, and that flute guy just puts his flute to his chest and just can't play anymore.
Yep. All righty.
It's a bootleg tape one. I really like that episode.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good one. So my number 2, and this is actually one of my all-time favorite episodes, again from season 4, episode 11, The Airport. The episode where both Jerry and Elaine are flying from St. Louis back to New York, and he's in first class and she's in coach.
Oh, poor Elaine.
I was supposed to get the kosher meal. And then, of course, you hear Larry David's voice a few times, as one of the passengers. And then there was the scene where she went back to the bathroom, and Larry Charles, he's one of the writers of the show. He had a cameo appearance. He comes out of the bathroom, and she goes in, and she's like, ah! And then she sneaks into first class, and then she gets kicked out. She's like, do you know they're giving them cookies?
She was hungry.
I love that episode. Yeah, that was great. And then Kramer falling down the baggage chute. That was funny also.
Yep.
So your number one. Let's have it.
Well, my number one, my grand finale is really difficult because it's an episode where all have supreme performances, supreme stories, all have great stories put into one episode. So, and the episode is The Burning.
The Burning. Okay, so yeah, if you could refresh my memory, what happens in
That's
Burning?
Kramer and the gonorrhea. With a
Oh,
coquettish
okay.
haberdasher.
Okay, and what happens to Elaine in that episode?
Well, Elaine, she is going to hell
Oh, okay.
because her boyfriend is saying that she can do things, and he wants her to steal from the neighbor their paper or something because she shouldn't worry because she's going to hell.
Right.
And it goes forward and back, and they come back to the apartment, and it's like, I'm not going to hell. You know what hell is like? You know, the heat, the devils, the caves, the rugged
Oh,
clothing,
that's
and
right. That's
mind
when
the
she says.
heat. Yeah, she stole his Jesus fish.
Yep. Oh, okay. I got that confused. Yeah. That.
Yeah, this it starts with her borrowing his car with all the Jesus rock or
Right.
Christian rock channels.
Right. All
She
right.
goes to
That's right.
great lengths to cover that he's stupid and he doesn't know what he's doing to
Yeah.
avoid him knowing what he's doing and being a Christian.
Oh, he was a great character, David Putty.
Yeah.
Very funny. Where another episode where they call him what do they call him, a grease monkey. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't care for that term. Very monotone.
He is one of the best side characters in the whole
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
He is really good.
Yeah.
And also the good thing about this episode is when they're going to church, because it's the issue about going to hell.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like often the interfaith marriages, this is a problem. No, we are not married. We're going to just have a good time. Well, then it's easy, simple. You're both going to hell. This is
Right.
bogus, man. Bogus.
Yeah.
That episode is, I think probably it's my favorite episode of them all, because everybody in the main has a great story.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. Excellent. So my number one episode for Elaine, you already mentioned. I can't spare a square. I don't have a spare to
Really?
square.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a mimbo. I know he's a mimbo, but he's my mimbo. Maybe in some deep irony, I could learn to love him for who he is and not just for his pretty face.
Yeah, George
Of course,
is
we're
pretty
talking
smitten
about
with him.
what's that?
George is pretty smitten with him.
Yes. Oh yeah, George. That was
Yeah,
funny.
he's so in love.
He had a male crush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that was season 5, episode 12, The Stall. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is with the gum? So
Yeah.
anyway, Ove, do you have any honorable mentions?
I probably have 90 of them, but I'm like, that's just as hard to pick honorable mentions as the ones you're picking. But of course, her neurotic breakdown in the subway is a legendary one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few. So there's the label maker, where she comes up with the term, oh, he's a regifter. Then there's, of course, there's the big salad. She had to have the big salad.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there's the face painter, where Putty says to her, I'll be back. We'll make out.
Yeah. That's a hockey one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. I had this friend who hates the Rangers with a passion. And of course, he loved that episode because it shows them getting beaten by the Devils. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got to support the team. Then there's the Bizarro Jerry, where she's caught in between two different versions of Jerry and his
Yeah.
friends. What else? The Sponge we mentioned, and then of course there's the chicken roaster where George gets an $8,000 hat on her expense account.
Oh,
Then they
Sable
have to
hat.
cover it up by getting a rat hat.
Yeah, it's Sabled.
Yeah.
I just remembered honorable mention. It's not really an episode, but it's more like a typical Elaine situation where he took it out.
Oh
He
yeah.
took what out? He took it out.
He took it out. Yeah, I just saw that episode like a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a good one.
That's the one with Mickey where he doesn't like that George called him a midget. He's like, little people.
Yeah, yeah. He too is a fantastic character. Him and Kramer together, they are a top team.
Yep. So there you have it, everybody. So Ove, thank you so much for compiling this list. I hope you enjoyed doing this. This is probably the funnest Seinfeld episode I've done yet. You know, it's very cool collaborating. You know, maybe we'll do another one at some point. You know,
I'll be back.
yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do one at some point with Newman. I'm gonna do some one with George Costanza's parents.
Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer I did already, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
I did
Jerry himself. Jerry himself.
Yes, we do. Right, we do have to do Jerry, so we can do that one at some point. Yeah, but in any event, so yeah, so there you go. There's our top 10. Elaine, you got double dose this time. You got Ove's top 10 and you got my top 10. And you know, once again, I want to say thank you so much to Ove for agreeing to come on my show.
Thank you for bringing me on the show.
Yeah. And let's see, next week I'm going to have a couple more special guests, and it's going to be of a pro wrestling nature. So
oh, nice.
Yep. Well, actually, yeah. So that's planned for a Monday night taping, and it's actually gonna I'm not going to give too much away, but it may involve a few people from the Hudson Valley Square. So there you have
From the
it.
family.
In any event, everybody, have a good night, and I'll see you soon.